Bob Ditter is a child and adolescent therapist from Boston, Massachusetts, who specializes in working with children's summer camps. He consults regularly with parents about the psychological health and well-being of their children.
Hello, my name is Bob Ditter, and I want to be among the first to congratulate you on choosing camp for your child. As you probably already know, camp is a wonderful and powerful place for your child to grow and to learn about themselves. That's because camp is far more than just doing fun things with friends. Camp is a place where your child will expand their horizons, discover they can do things they never thought possible, and make new friends and learn more about themselves in just a short period of time than they might even do all year at school. So now that you've chosen camp, I'd like to talk to you about a way that you can help your child be as successful there as possible. The camp that you've chosen for your child will be sending you a health form and a personal information sheet asking you for certain specific personal information about your child. Camps ask for this information so that they can help your child make the transition to camp as smooth as possible. After all, they want what you want, which is for your child to have as much fun and to be as successful at their camp as can possibly be. Some information, like allergies or certain medical conditions, are pretty straightforward and make a lot of sense to share with camps. When it comes to more personal or sensitive information, if you're like some parents, you might be a little uncertain about just what is appropriate to share and not share. So let's talk about it. For most children, camp offers them a fresh start, a place where they can try new things, try on new roles, do things they've never done before. Sharing certain information with the camp may worry you because you may think that it might stigmatize your child and keep them from really being free of any bias. So I want to reassure you that camps use this information really to create plans and to support your child in the best way possible, so that if a problem does arise, they know exactly how to support your child, when to contact you, and what plan is going to work best. There are even some children who urge their parents not to share certain personal information because they're embarrassed. For example, if a child has a bedwetting problem or a tic disorder, they may not want people to know because they may feel that the kids will find out and tease them about it, or that the counselors will treat them differently. One of the things that's important for you as a parent to remember is that it's up to the adults to make sound decisions that are best for the child. First, I want to encourage you to think about camp as a partnership. After all, the camp professionals that you've chosen to have your child spend part of the summer with want what you want, and that is for your child to thrive. A good camp can only keep their end of the partnership if they have information to prepare their medical staff or their leadership team to ensure that your child is well cared for and free to have a great experience. So the better prepared the camp is, the better prepared they will be to help your child be successful. If you have any special concerns about confidentiality, talk with the director about who the information is going to be shared with. If you need to, have the director promise to share it only with people who will have direct contact with your child. That might be the medical staff, it might be the program director, it might be the unit director, or the boys or girls head counselor, or their group counselor or their cabin counselor. If your child is worried about their privacy, reassure them that the other children aren't going to know about their personal situations. For example, if they do have a bedwetting problem, or if they have ADHD or some other difficulty, only the professionals or the adults at camp are going to know. And in some ways, it's reassuring for a child to know who the adults are that they can go to for help. So sharing this information can be a real asset for your child if you know how to explain it to them that way. And it would be a shame if decisions about confidential information were based on your child's fears. After all, like I said before, it's really up to the adults to make decisions that are best for the child. So I want to talk to you a little bit now about medication. Many children today are on various kinds of medication, either for allergies or getting some kind of supplement, or even for depression or for attention deficit disorder or tic disorder. Sharing information, medical information, especially about medications with camp professionals is obviously a straightforward affair. However, if your child has depression, or attention deficit disorder or some other psychological disorder, you may have some misgivings or some reservations about exactly what to share with the camp professionals. First of all, it's important for you to talk with your prescribing physician about camp. Many physicians don't really understand what camp is all about. A really good rule of thumb is that if your child is on medication in school, if they take medication for depression or bipolar illness or for attention deficit disorder in order to function well at school, they're probably going to need that same medication to function as well at camp. But I want you to picture your child who may have attention deficit disorder or bipolar illness or some other challenge not being on their medication and being down, say, at the archery range or at horseback riding or down at swimming or the waterfront getting directions that they're going to have to remember and follow. And not only that, camp is a very social situation. Kids are living and working and playing in group situations all the time. Being able to pay attention, being able to fit in, and being able to respond well are really important for the social success for children at camp. I want you to picture this. Let's say your son or daughter has attention deficit disorder and they're down at the archery range and they're not on their medication. They go to the firing range, they knock their arrows, they pull back the bow, and then they hear something, they're distracted, and they turn suddenly and they swerve. And you can see how pretty easily being able to follow directions and really keep with the format of, say, archery or the ropes course or challenge courses or climbing walls or climbing towers or horseback riding or any of a number of other activities at camp becomes a safety issue and also becomes an issue for your child to be in their comfort zone. So talking with your physician about camp and talking about the realities and in some ways the demands of camp would be really important so that you and your physician and the camp can make a plan for your child that's going to serve them best during the summer. Now, one of the things that happens for children who are on psychostimulants, and those are things like Adderall, Ritalin, Concerta, and similar medications, is that physicians often recommend those children having what's called commonly a drug-free holiday. What that means is that on weekends during the school year, many children who take medication to function well in school don't take it on the weekends. The reason for that is because many parents are a little nervous about having their children on medication 7 days a week. There's also some evidence that suggests that psychostimulants suppress appetite, and parents are sometimes concerned about either the height or weight of their child lagging behind other children of their own age. And so physicians routinely prescribe, like I said, drug-free holidays either on the weekends or during the summer. Camp is not a time for one of those holidays because, like I said before, camp is a very social and active place. And let's remember, attention deficit disorder has three major components. The first component is organization, the ability of a child to stay organized. At school, that might be their locker, their desk, or their backpack. At camp, that's going to be their cubby, that's going to be, if it's at resident camp, their bed, where they keep their clothes, keeping their equipment. So the ability of children to be organized at camp is just as crucial there as it is at school. The second component of attention deficit disorder is attention. That is the ability to stay focused, to stay participating in an activity, to be able to follow instructions. And certainly at camp, where there's sometimes safety issues or simply just being successful at an activity, it's important for a child to be able to have full attention. And the third component of attention deficit disorder is hyperactivity. And certainly if a child is restless, if they're hyperactive, they're going to get on the nerves of the other kids. It's going to interfere with their ability to make friends or to settle down at night. And so it's important for children to be able to have all three of those abilities: organization, attention, and hyperactivity, not being hyperactive, being able to stay calm and focused while they're at camp, just as it is while they're at school. In some cases, your child may even need a higher dose of psychostimulant medication at camp than they do at home or in school. And the reason for that is children tend to be more active at camp, the weather tends to be warmer, and since most psychostimulant medications are water soluble, children metabolize that medication much more quickly when they're active or when they're hot and when they're sweating. So that's another thing for you to discuss with your physician. The most important rule of thumb for all medications and with regard to camp is that if your child is coming to camp, it's important that you not make a medication change 6 weeks prior to their time of coming to camp, and that if that change is made, if a change is made, that you and your physician discuss that fully with the camp director. The point is to discuss medication with your prescribing physician and explain the realities of camp and make a plan with your physician and camp professionals. If the camp director so chooses, he or she may refer you to the camp doctor or the camp nurse where a plan can be made and put into place so that if a child needs a change in their medication at camp, or if there are side effects that the camp needs to know about and needs to manage because of the medication, that plan can be put into place. The worst thing would be for the camp not to have any information about medicine or medication issues with your child, and for your child to get to camp and have a negative experience. So once again, the camp wants what you want, which is for your child to thrive and to have the happiest summer possible. There are some other issues that you as a parent might consider sharing with the camp that will help them, once again, prepare a plan or be ready to support your child when they come to camp. These things include things like bedwetting, having a tic disorder, having a learning disability, or if your child is on what's called an IEP, an individualized educational plan, chances are there are certain accommodations that are made for your child in a classroom or in school that might need to be made for your child at camp. For example, maybe your child learns best when they hear instructions, or maybe they need to see it written and hear it for them to be able to internalize it. Maybe they process information more slowly and may need more time to get ready, to stay up with the other kids. Whatever the issue is for your child, the more that the camp knows, the better they can prepare the counselors who will be working directly with your child. Remember, working together with your camp is the best chance you have of helping your child make a great adjustment to camp. If you're a little concerned about putting things down on paper, give the director a call. Most directors are happy to talk things over in some detail and share the information with the medical staff or with the leadership team. After all, this is the best way for your child to have an exciting summer and for you as a parent to have peace of mind. Happy camping.